show you the symptoms of a blown oil cooler on a 3.2 FSI. This can reference to a B7, the Q models, the A6 3.2s. They have the exact same engines, the exact same oil cooler setup. The only difference is this is a different model Audi. But the most various symptom is, number one, is a no start. Your engine will not turn over at all. And here's the issue with that. You've got to know that your starter's getting power to its ground and to its power wire. So as soon as I figured out what that was, the starter was good. My car still wouldn't turn over. So replace the starter after an all is said and done, just to get the good feeling of replacing it and make sure it's all still good. I went ahead and checked the oil, and I noticed it was kind of runny. Prior to this video, I did drain it all, so there's no oil in my vehicle right now. And no, I am not driving it. That'd be an idiot move. But so I went to AutoZone, got a whole gallon of coolant, antifreeze, poured it in there, and it watched it disappear right in front of my eyes. And I was pretty stoked, honestly. And so I pulled it out. Again, before that, on the dipstick, it was a little above the max. When I poured that whole gallon of antifreeze coolant into this reservoir, it literally all drained away. And I pulled the dipstick out, and it was right here where my thumb is. So the issue with that is, I took out my spark plugs, the cool packs, they're sitting right here. And noticed no coolant was on the head gasket area. So I eliminated that factor, because that's the one reason you got to know is symptom 2. Make sure it's not a blown head gasket, because if you do more digging into these vehicles, some of the symptoms can relate to either a blown head gasket or a blown engine oil cooler. So you got to really watch out for that. And it's a pretty obvious look. Just get you a flashlight, shine it into each of the cylinders. There's 6, is a 6-cylinder, and make sure there's no coolant in there. And good thing for me, there was not, so the head gaskets are still good. This happened to me while the car was not turned on for a couple days, while I was doing a carbon cleaning on the upper intake manifold and the 2 passenger and driver side lower intake manifolds. So I come back in here, put everything back together, try to turn it on, start it up for maybe 5 tries, actually tried to start up, and then it just stopped. And what this did is the coolant and the oil mix hydrolocked the engine from the bottom side instead of the piston side. So that's one thing you've got to look out for. Symptom 3 is pretty much a low battery, because when you try to start your car over and over and over again, your battery's going to drain. So make sure it's not a battery issue, because not technically saying this is what this video is for, but I did replace the negative battery cable to make sure the ground was still good on it. And luckily it still was, because the old cable, there was nothing wrong with it, but just out of peace of mind, I did it anyways, and eliminated that issue. Also, make sure to check your starter relays. They are under the ECU, which is under this. They were both fine, and this is something that you guys need to watch out for. So also at the same time, like I said in the first part of the video, check your starter. Make sure it's not your starter before you actually go dig into the engine. But it's an obvious statement. It could be coolant related, like a gasket or something like that, if your coolant is draining out. This just happened out of nowhere. So symptom number 1 is also coolant. Symptom number 2 is a no start, which means the engine cannot turn over at all. It feels like it's seized or hydrolocked. Symptom number 3, if I haven't already said that, would be low power. So after all the things I said, make sure you check everything on your vehicle to make sure everything checks out. But it's a pretty obvious statement. If your coolant is going away out of nowhere, no leaks on the ground, no leaks in the cylinder head right here, check your oil cooler. It's a very cheap fix, and that's what my issue is.